All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're diving deep into a music video. Uh, BIDDI BOMB by a group called the Neighborhood Kids. Now, I know music videos not our usual thing,
Yeah.
but trust me, this one's packed with social commentary. Like, serious stuff to unpack.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how they get these ideas across visually, you know?
Yeah,
Combining the music and the visuals adds a whole other layer.
totally. And they hit you with it right away. First
Right.
line, woke up in the morning and I smelt the fresh pollution. I mean, wow, what an image.
Right? It's like jarring almost. Fresh and pollution, those two things don't really go together.
No, not at all.
Mm.
But it gets you thinking, right?
Yeah.
About the environment and how we kind of mess things up.
Definitely makes you stop and think.
And then they go, television never tried to show my execution. Said, who's this? Just a kid from the neighborhood? I've been trying to start a revolution. It's like they're taking on the whole system.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're calling out the powers that be, the media, everyone who ignores them.
Right, just dismisses them as
Mm.
a kid from the neighborhood. But what kind of revolution are they talking about? Is it like a political thing or more like society?
Could be both, you know? I think that's what's so cool about it. It's open to interpretation.
Yeah, it makes you think about all the ways things need to change.
Yeah.
And then they say, for the greater good, it's the revolution coming marching on your street.
Hmm.
It's like a warning, but also like a call to action, you know?
Totally. It's getting personal, bringing it right to your doorstep.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
makes you think, what can I do? How can I be a part of this?
Right. How do we make things better right here, right now?
And then there's this line. It's the nitty, the gritty, the smog that's in the city, and nothing's been the same since they killed Pac and Biggie.
Oh, whoa, that's heavy, bringing in Tupac and Biggie like that. For those who maybe don't know, can you give us a little background on them?
Oh, absolutely. So Tupac and Biggie, they were like the biggest names in hip-hop back in the 90s. They were talking about real stuff, poverty, violence, racism, you know. They weren't afraid to speak truth to power, and their deaths were tragic, both murdered.
Yeah, huge loss for the hip-hop community.
It was a turning point for sure. But how do they connect to the message of this song?
Well, I think it's about voices being silenced. Both Tupac and Biggie, they were speaking out against injustice, and then they were gone. It's like the neighborhood kids are picking up where they left off.
Keeping that fight alive.
Yeah.
And they go even bigger, asking these huge questions like, why the U.S. always funding genocide? And what is war? And what is peace? And what's our business always in the Middle East?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are some serious topics to tackle.
Yeah, no kidding. They're not shying away from anything.
So what do you think they're trying to do by asking these questions?
I think they're getting us to think critically about our country's role in the world, you know, about war, about peace, about why we get involved in other countries.
It's like they're saying, hey, don't just accept what you're told, question things, be informed, be engaged. And then it's interesting how they go from these global issues to something more focused. Listen to this. They take stakes and make tanks and make banks. To West Bank, they bang, bang, and gang bang. They slave trade and slang things, like AKs, grenades made to raise flames and make ways to end race. Why? It's for the money and the power. It's the higher-ups, and they be hungry and devour. There's so much there, the wordplay, the imagery. It's like they're connecting all these dots between greed, violence, injustice.
It's powerful stuff, the way they use language. It's like you can feel it. The bang, bang, the references to the slave trade, it's all very deliberate.
And then they drop this line, rich eat the poor, but I hope it's tasting sour. There's this defiance there, this refusal to just accept things as they are.
Yeah, like they're saying, this isn't right, and we're not going to be quiet about it.
And then the song shifts a little bit, gets into this idea of control, of silencing dissent. They say, hours on the clock go tick-tock. Your wristwatch has been stopped. The rich watch your kids' thoughts and get taught to keep them lips locked. It's a different kind of heavy, more psychological, you know.
Yeah, it's like they're saying it's not just about physical control. They want to control your mind, too.
Your wristwatch has been stopped. That's such a powerful image.
It is, isn't it? It's like being trapped, like you have no control over your own life.
And then the rich watch your kids' thoughts. That's gelling.
It is. It's like they're saying they want to control the next generation, too. They want to control what they think, what they believe.
It's almost Orwellian, this idea of thought policing.
Hmm.
But they don't just leave us there in that darkness, do they?
No. They offer a way out. They offer hope. They talk about hip-hop.
Right. When they say, and it stops when kids are taught through hip-hop, it's like this huge shift. Hip-hop becomes the answer, the way to break free.
Yeah, it's not just music anymore. It's like a weapon.
So what do you think they're saying about the power of hip-hop here?
I think it's about freedom. You know, freedom of thought, freedom of expression. It's about challenging the system, challenging the people in power.
Yeah, it's like hip-hop gives you a voice.
Exactly. And it gives you a way to connect with others who feel the same way.
And it's interesting how they tie it back to revolution, to social change.
It's not just about listening to music, it's about being part of something bigger.
It's about making your voice heard.
And coming from a group called the Neighborhood Kids, it just hits differently.
It does. It's like they're speaking for a whole generation.
A generation that's been ignored, silenced.
And they're not going to be quiet anymore. And the way they talk about hip-hop, it's so full of energy. Listen to this. That's that type of feeling that be running through your spine. It's the MCs that be holding on the mic. It's the DJs that be scratching all the time. It's the B-boys that be spinning on their minds. It's the graph heads that be writing on the signs. And it's hip-hop. And it's always been alive. And it's hip-hop. And it's never going to die. It's like you can feel the passion, the excitement.
It's contagious. They're celebrating everything about hip-hop. The DJs, the MCs, the breakdancers, the graffiti artists.
All four elements coming together.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so powerful.
So we've gone from this really dark place, talk about all the bad stuff in the world, to this message of hope, of empowerment.
It's like they're saying, yeah, things are messed up, but we can change them.
We have the power to make things better.
And hip-hop is the tool.
The weapon.
The voice.
Exactly. So what do you think people should take away from this song, from this video?
I think they're saying, wake up, open your eyes, see what's going on around you, and don't be afraid to speak out, to fight for what you believe in.
Find your voice, find your power.
Exactly. And hip-hop can help you do that.
It's like a guide, a mentor.
A community.
Yeah, a community of people who are fighting for the same things.
Mm-hmm.
But the song doesn't end there, does it? It leaves us with this line, "The house of cards will fall and soon the world will all be ours." What do you make of that? Is it a prediction, a warning, a promise?
That's the big question, isn't it? Are they saying that the system is going to collapse?
Right.
That everything's going to change?
The house of cards will fall. It's a powerful image.
It is. It suggests that everything is fragile, unstable.
Like it could all come crashing down at any moment.
And then the world will all be ours. What does that even mean?
Whose world will it be?
Who gets to decide?
It's like they're leaving us with more questions than answers.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe they're not trying to give us all the answers. Maybe they just want us to think.
To think critically, to question everything.
To imagine a different future.
A better future.
And to fight for it.
That's what this song is all about, isn't it? Fighting for what you believe in. Using your voice, using your power.
And hip-hop is the soundtrack.
It's inspiring, even with all the heavy stuff they're talking about.
Yeah, they don't let it get you down. It's like they're saying, yeah, the world's messed up, but we're not giving up.
And they're not afraid to get complicated. You know, they don't pretend to have all the answers.
Well, they're just asking the questions, the tough questions.
Making you think, making you question things.
Exactly. And that's what good art should do, right?
Totally. It's not just entertainment. It's got to make you think, make you feel something.
And this song does that, for sure.
It does. So what's the big takeaway here?
I think it's about waking up, seeing the world for what it is, the good, the bad, the ugly.
And not being afraid to challenge it.
Exactly. To fight for something better.
To use your voice, use your art, use whatever you got.
To make a difference.
Yeah, to make the world a little less messed up.
Even if it's just a little bit.
That's what it's all about, right?
I think so.
Well, folks, if you haven't seen BIDDI BOMB by the Neighborhood Kids, go check it out. It's a powerful message, a call to action. And who knows, maybe it'll inspire you to start your own revolution. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.